Hello, I'm Rhian and I work in the International Office at Norwich University of the Arts, and these are our top tips for making a standout portfolio. Portfolio should consist of three key things. Firstly, your current technical abilities. It's really important to see the evidence of your making skills. This can be any way that you create, from taking photographs, drawing, painting, to coding or creating a website. It can be in any form, but we think it should be relevant to the subject area. Ideas development is really key. Don't just include final pieces. Show us actually how you've developed your work. It's important for us to understand how you've developed an idea through to a final outcome. Documenting the risks that you've taken and the challenges that you've discovered through the creative journey. Therefore, show us initial sketchbook work and then develop from there. Lastly, influences on your work. Think about who or what inspires you. This could be anything from an artist, a politician, a particular place, or a holiday that you've been on, and we want to see how this affects your work. So you'll likely be creating a digital portfolio. So there are some different formats that you may want to consider. You may want to use an interactive PDF file, or maybe a Google Slides document. They're very quick and easy to, ways to present your work. You may consider using a host site like Prezi.com or Vimeo or YouTube for presenting film or animation work. It might be that you want to use your own personalized blog or website. You can do this through website builders such as Behance or Wix.com, and it means that you can have more control over how people interact with your work. It can make your work stand out by being more distinctive and professional, showing that you're considering your work seriously as an artist or designer. So now let's go through a few basic pointers regarding the content of the portfolio. Firstly, have a think about the quantity. Norwich University of the Arts, we usually recommend the 15 to 20 slides or pages with maybe 1 to 3 images per page, or more if you're creating a mood board. The quantity can vary greatly between institutions, so we do recommend researching the specific portfolio requirements of each university or college before submitting your application. So we do think it should be course relevant, so the skills and sensibilities of the work should match the subject area. So for the film course, we don't necessarily need to see your brilliant knitting skills. We suggest using neutral backgrounds to ensure that it's your work that stands out above anything else. And be consistent, but avoid repetition. Take us on a journey of your development as an artist or a designer. Show the progress of your work, but don't use the same image twice. Use diverse photographs to show off your work in the best way. You may want to show us an close image of intricate details that may be lost through photographing the full image for, textiles or fashion work, for example. And if you have 3D work, you want to show us things from the front, the sides, and the back as well. Think about how you can take the best quality images, so good quality and not pixelated. A bad photo of good quality work will affect the impact that it has. Consider some subtle labelling. Your images should be telling a story so that you don't need to write, a huge amount for each one, but maybe 1 or 2 lines if it helps explain your thought process or the name of your inspiration. If you are including a title, you may want to note the piece dimensions or the theme, and try to make the labelling consistent throughout all of the portfolio pages. And lastly, storytelling. The layout of your portfolio should have a nice flow to it. We appreciate the ways in which people's work is different, but it should be organised into some sort of narrative. Try to make your portfolio as intuitive as possible. You may want to test it on friends and family before submission to make sure that it works well. And you may consider starting with the strongest piece and ending with your next strongest piece. You may also consider whether a contents page would be relevant for your portfolio. So ultimately, you do want to stand out with your portfolio. There are great ways that you can put a stamp on the style and the content of your portfolio. Firstly, have a think about any unique experiences that you've had and how they have impacted your work. If you're applying to a UK university as an international student, you already have a really unique experience to talk about. So talk about it. Think about personal projects. How do you create outside of the classroom? Have you entered any competitions or done any work experience? We want to know about these personal projects. They make you unique and interesting, and they also show your passion for the subject. If you have done any collaborative work, this will be a really vital skill to show us, because it shows that you can work in a team, which is vital when you're at university and also when you're working in the industry. So those are our top tips, and thank you for watching. If you want to find out more, you can download the video takeaways and find out more about us in the description below. Thank you.